Hey y'all, it's your girl Destiny and I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the things that I did to boost my self-esteem. If you're new to my channel, I talk about all things self-growth here, so if that's something that you're into, go ahead and press that subscribe button. Now before I get into all the things that I did to help me boost my self-esteem, I really want to talk about the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem, because there was a time where I thought that they were the same things, but they are in fact different. There are different ways to tend to each of them and kind of build those up. And I will do a video on how I also boosted my self-confidence. So if you don't want to miss that, go ahead and turn on your post notifications because I'll be posting that very soon. So when we talk about self-esteem, we're really talking about, liking yourself, loving yourself, seeing yourself as valuable, placing your value in who you are as a person. So just having a general sense of self-worth. And when we talk about self-confidence, that's more so trusting in yourself and in your abilities and in your decision-making skills. So yes, self-esteem. The thing about self-esteem is that you want to be not only telling yourself, but showing yourself that you are worth time, energy, effort, and sometimes even money. And there will be like a trade-off between all of those things in which you can use to show yourself what you're worth, and I'll go deeper into that as well. So the first thing that I did in order to boost my self-esteem was put more time, energy, and effort into myself. Also spending more money on myself. Granted, I know that in this economy, things can get tight. So sometimes we don't always have the money to spend on getting our hair done, our nails done, our eyebrows, our waxes, all of that good stuff. And that's totally fine. That's where the time, energy, and effort comes in, where you kind of have to do that trade-off because, you either don't have the money or you just don't want to spend the money on those things. Or maybe you just like doing things yourself and being a DIY girly, because I know I surely do. So the first thing that I feel like I really needed to put more time, energy, and effort into was my appearance. And yes, I am talking about working out. I'm talking about my wardrobe. I'm talking about eating better. I'm talking about my overall maintenance. And I'm like that kind of person that really, doesn't like to spend money if I don't have to. So I myself am a DIY girly. So for instance, I didn't want to keep paying to get my nails done. So I learned how to DIY my nails. And this definitely took some time, energy, and effort because it took me a long time to figure out what method worked best for me. I done tried acrylic nails, poly gel, press-ons, and I actually landed on Gel X. So that's what I typically use to do my nails. I don't have them done right now because I just took them off, but I will be doing them for Christmas. And that's my trade-off. I put in that time, that energy, and that effort, into figuring out how to do something that made me feel good. And that's me showing myself that I'm worth that time, energy, and effort. And the same thing goes for working out. You can pay for a gym membership, or you can get creative, spend that time, energy, and effort to figure out, okay, so how am I going to work out without having to go to the gym? You could be sitting in front of your TV in the living room and watching a YouTube video that's getting you active. You can just dance and have fun. You can go for a walk outside or go for a jog outside. You can work. There are ways to get creative, and you just, trade off whether or not you want to spend the money or if you want to, spend that time, energy, and effort, pouring that into yourself. Even with wardrobe, while we can just go online, and obviously it would be easier to just spend, a good little chunk of change on whatever we want when we see it, if you're not in that kind of position, you can thrift or you can learn how to make clothes. Yeah, I got a sewing machine. I have a Cricut. I've made clothes. Because I'm such a DIY girly, that's just the path that I decided to take. Granted, I do still spend, a cool little chunk of change, which I budget for, which, takes some time, energy, and effort. But as you can see, the trend here is just showing yourself that you're worth the money, the time, the energy, the effort. And even with maintenance, the nails, of course, which I mentioned, even my hair, I do my own hair, whether it's, creating a wig or, sewing in a weave, doing some braids, I will do all of it myself. Now, there are times where I will go get my hair done, for a silk press, because, I just want that pamper feeling, cool. I sometimes even still get my hair braided at times, and I will get a sew-in and I will pay for it. But at the times where I really don't want to, I'm going to DIY it, and I'm going to, put that time, energy, and effort into myself to present myself the way that I want to and to do things that make me feel good because I'm worth that. And I really want to know down in the comments, because definitely I'm a DIY girly, but I want to know, are y'all more DIY girly or service girly? Or are you in the middle, half and half? Some things you do yourself and some things you girl, I'm going to pay for that. I'm just going to have to pay somebody to do that. Now with personal development, I feel this one is much easier to do even without money. though it does require a lot of time, energy, and effort, whether you're, when it comes to learning and skill development, whether you're watching videos on YouTube or listening to podcasts or, finding a mentor, like all of these things will take time, energy, and effort. And you doing that for yourself is literally showing yourself what you are worth, that you are worth all of this, and that what you want is worth the time, energy, and effort and putting that in. I feel like this goes hand in hand with mental health because we need to learn more about ourselves. We need to explore ourselves. We need to have new experiences, and we need to find hobbies that give us life and that make us happy. And when it comes to mental health, I also feel like it's important to invest in, maybe therapy. And if not therapy, finding some people that you really, trust and that care for you, that you can talk to about whatever it is that you need to talk about. There are so many ways that you can, go about, prioritizing your mental health and putting that time in. Like I keep saying, that time, energy, and effort, that's just what you want to show yourself. And figure out what self-care means to you. Figure out what it means to you and really try to, prioritize that. Because, for some people it's going to get that mani-pedi every 2 weeks. For some people it's making sure that they keep their hair done. For some people it's just taking a bubble bath and relaxing at home. Whatever it is, make sure that you prioritize that and you set aside that time. You put in that energy and that effort to set that up for yourself because it's important and because you're worth that. All in all, I feel like y'all get the gist of putting more time, energy, and effort into yourself, money into yourself, investing into yourself in general and in every area of your life. So the second thing that I had to do was create boundaries and learn how to say no. Stop doing things that you genuinely don't want to do. Stop sacrificing your comfort for the comfort of other people. Stop sacrificing your happiness for the happiness of other people. Stop letting stuff slide and remove yourself from conversations and situations that no longer serve you. Granted, there are exceptions, of course, because sometimes we do want to sacrifice some of our happiness for others because seeing them happy makes us happy, and that goes for every other positive emotion. Sometimes we want people to feel like that, and that actually gives us a little bit of life, and like that's cool. But it's all about not overextending yourself and putting yourself in a bad situation, leading you to burnout or leaving you to feel as though somebody else's emotions and feelings and comfort is more important than yours, and that you have to sacrifice a part of yourself for somebody else to feel those things, because you are not responsible for how other people feel. You are only responsible for how you feel. So if you're putting yourself in those kind of situations for the sake of other people, you're telling yourself that those other people are worth more than you. You have to respect your time, energy, and effort, and the people around you need to respect that as well. You need to demand that respect. You need to respect your feelings and not put yourself in a situation to where you're feeling down or you're feeling sad or you're feeling mad or like you just really didn't want to do something just because you wanted to make somebody else, happy or please them or whatever the case may be. And this was something that I had really, really bad because I was a people pleaser and I was always putting people before myself, spending money on people that I would never spend on myself. Like I was literally just putting everybody around me before me, and it really diminished my self-esteem. And once I was like going through like my people pleasing journey and trying to get over that, after I realized that that's what my problem was, I had to look back. I had to look at my self-esteem like it's kind of low. It's kind of low. And so now I've just really gotten to a point where I have no issue saying no. I have no issue having uncomfortable conversations. I have no issue, setting boundaries. And don't get me wrong, I won't say like it's a walk in the park or like that it was a walk in the park for me to be able to do that. No, there were more things that, I had to do and get down to like the root cause as to why I was, why it was hard for me to say no in the first place and why it was hard for me to set boundaries in the first place. But once you kind of figure those things out, it definitely does become easier over time. And you start to just trust your decisions and like, okay, I'm really just doing what's best for me. The third thing that I had to do was learn effective communication. And I know you're probably thinking right now, what does effective communication have to do with self-esteem? And I'm gonna tell y'all, when you are able to be honest and not hold your tongue without hurting people's feelings, you will like yourself so much more. There's a way to say anything and tell the truth without being cruel or mean. And the only way to do that is to learn effective communication. You will respect yourself more when you can just tell the truth. You will respect yourself more when you're not out here telling little white lies or telling big lies. You will like yourself more and feeling as though you're an honest person. And the more you respect yourself, the more you value yourself. Now, the fourth thing that I had to do was challenge my limiting beliefs. And this kind of goes back to the setting boundaries and learning how to say no, because I had to think about like what beliefs that I had that made me feel as though like I couldn't say no to people, or that I had to say yes to people, and that I had to please people in order for them to want to be in my life. And, you know, your limiting beliefs can be based on past experiences, you know, maybe situations where people may have shown you something, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true for everybody. So you shouldn't be generalizing it, but you got to figure out, you know, what happened to you in the past, or like what negative or deeply rooted beliefs that you have that make you feel like saying no is going to put you in a situation of maybe being abandoned or being in danger or whatever the case may be. Because yeah, the truth of the matter is maybe you have some really deep rooted limiting beliefs or negative beliefs that is causing your low self-esteem, like I did. And for me, my perceived value was based on my productivity. It was based on what I can do for other people. It was based on stuff like how much money I make and my ability to make other people proud and to be acceptable in societal norms. And if your perceived value is based on anything outside of you just being yourself, then the limiting beliefs are definitely something that you should probably look deeper into. Now, the fifth thing that I had to do was practice gratitude. You have to shift your focus from what you don't have to what you do have. This will definitely help you stop comparing yourself to others and realizing that you are blessed and, you know, you are unique and that you are valuable just the way you are. In today's time, I feel like with how much we're on social media, it is very easy to compare ourselves to other people who maybe have more money or, you know, maybe have a better sense of style. Not even thinking about the fact that people are only showing their best on social media. Granted, I do feel like that is changing and that's shifting a little bit, where people are being a little more, you know, authentic and kind of showing, you know, they're not everything is glitz and glamour. But for a long time, all we were seeing were the positive things in people's lives, and it was making us compare our lives to theirs. And it makes us feel either like we're behind or like we're just not doing enough, and it just makes us feel a way about ourselves. So we have to learn to be grateful for our own unique gifts, abilities, and talents, and even just our situations in general. A lot of us are in situations that can definitely be worse, and there are some people who wish that they had something that you have. Like, for instance, I would wake up in the morning and I would basically just be like, I would have to get like really deep into what I was grateful for. Like, I'm grateful that, you know, I even have a car and that I can drive to work every day and make money so that I can pay my rent and have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I have a job so that I can actually put gas in my car and get to and from where I want to go, you know, when I want to go there. For having 2 arms and 2 legs and 2 hands and 10 fingers that actually work. Like, there is so much to be grateful for. And I really recommend keeping a gratitude journal, you know, and I won't say writing this gratitude journal every single day. Like, I wasn't even writing in it every single day, but just like starting that practice that will like get your mind going. And sometimes you don't even have to write it down. You'll just wake up and you'll think about it, and you will have set the tone for that entire day. And the last thing that I'm going to share today is, you know, having more self-compassion for myself. That was something that I really had to do. I'm somebody who was kind of like an overachiever, you know, growing up and getting like straight A's. I would get like 1 B and just like beat myself up about it. And one thing that I had to keep reminding myself is that I am a human being and I am not perfect, and I'm not supposed to be perfect. So I had to really kind of stop the negative self-talk and kind of find a way to replace it with more positive things. So even if like I did like really mess up, instead of like telling myself like, oh, I'm so stupid, I can't believe I did that, I could say something like, dang, yeah, I really messed up, but that was a learning experience, and next time I'll do better. You know, it's really just about giving yourself some grace. And when it comes to showing yourself self-compassion, I would really recommend setting realistic expectations and goals for yourself instead of setting like these, you know, out of the world goals and expectations and putting those on yourself, and like basically setting yourself up for failure and setting yourself up to feel a way about not being able to accomplish something that was dang near not even accomplishable. Like, give yourself some grace and like break these goals down into smaller and manageable tasks. And y'all know how I feel about that, because I did a video on productivity, and that's like the best thing that you can do, because it will help you, you know, build momentum, and it will also give you a sense of accomplishment, you know, a sense of progress, and that will actually make you feel good about yourself and boost your self-esteem as you are getting through those goals. All right, y'all, that's all I have for y'all today. I really hope that these tips help somebody out there who's struggling with their self-esteem. They really helped me. And if you have any more like tips or recommendations on what people can do to boost their self-esteem, please let us know down in the comments. I am only one person, and these are things that have worked for me. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. It would really mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.